In this week's video, I'm going to be doing a few TikTok art challenges. The first one that I'm going to do, I'm going to try drawing or coloring in grayscale. And I decided to pick Anya for the subject, so we'll see how this turns out. I was originally going to try to memorize the color wheel before I did this, but I forgot to do that before I put my iPad on grayscale, so it is definitely more realistic. And I was surprised at how well I was able to pick the colors, because I thought I was picking some random colors. So I hope you enjoyed this process. Anya's so cute in the Spy Family. Who's your favorite character in Spy Family? Let me know. It's a toss-up. I really do like the three main characters, but if I had to pick one, I guess I would have to pick Lloyd. So I used a few references. I used this one for her expression, and then I really liked when she came out of her bedroom and she's kind of not fully awake and she's kind of a little bit sleepy, so I really liked her pajama outfit. So this part of the video is me like real time drawing. When I was recording the screenshot, I was like a bit concerned because hoping that the grayscale is what it would record, but then I thought about it a little bit. I realized that I just put my iPad in grayscale and not the actual iPad isn't in grayscale, so when I went to look at the recording, it was in color. So I had to figure out a way to make it look like what it looked like while I was drawing, which I just put a filter on and put it in grayscale. But don't worry, I did the challenge with it in grayscale, so I didn't have any idea what I was picking. Though I did realize, because Procreate has a setting where you can put your references in there, I could have cheated, but I didn't do that, so I went ahead and just picked some random colors. One of my most favorite things about this drawing that I enjoyed doing was the little hat and little stars. I don't draw stars very often, at least not like stylized stars. And I really love her little hair pieces, and her eyes were cute to do. I had to make a few adjustments. I kind of have been liking where I do the line art, the last line art, after I finish coloring it, so I have some room to adjust if necessary depending on where I put color down, and then make adjustments from there. I feel like it still gets a little bit of a sketchy look, but it's a little easier for me to adjust things if when I originally drew them, it kind of got a little bit messed up. So I'm just adjusting my line art right now and adding a little bit more shading and color, and then erasing things that are outside of the lines, and finishing up some final touch-ups to the eyes. After I did reveal the sketch to myself, I just made some minor adjustments. I used the colors that I had already picked when it was in grayscale, so just to blend it out more and shade it properly, and then get rid of some wonky lines and stuff like that I didn't catch when it was in grayscale. I also adjusted the mouth a little bit because I realized it didn't seem quite right, so I made it a little bit bigger and then moved it down a little bit. So I'm going to go to my final reveal. It took me a while to figure out how to undo the grayscale, but I figured it out finally. And here's the finished piece. I really liked how it turned out. The pajamas are a little bit off, but the hat looks good, and I was surprised that I picked the right hair color. So overall, turned out cool. For the next challenge, I did the 3 emoji challenge. So I got money, a skeleton head, and a banana. At first I thought I was going to draw like a minions with a banana on an island with some sort of treasure. My other thought was to draw Luffy eating a banana on an island with some treasure. But then I decided, let's just draw a skeleton next to a treasure box on an island with some banana trees. and other tropical trees around. So I looked up a picture reference because I haven't ever drawn a skeleton before and a treasure chest, and this was one of the ones that I found, and I really liked the pose with his arm inside of the treasure chest. I'm going to say that this treasure was cursed, and he just spent his entire time staring at his money, and eventually he died and then turned into a skeleton. So it was hard to draw the bananas. I've never really drawn bananas before, but they turned out okay. And this is going to be really rough colored sketch kind of thing. Didn't want to render it completely, but I think it gives a cool summer vibe to it as well. And for the first time drawing a skeleton, he turned out okay. Probably should draw some more skeletons in the future just to get outside of my comfort zone. That it was fun to draw this little picture. Let me know if you've tried this 3 emoji challenge and drawing something based on the emojis you get. It was actually pretty fun. Like I said, I came up with a couple ideas before I settled on something. Sometimes I think of some cool ideas, but like then putting it on paper is a different story. So overall, this was fun. I am excited for the new Minion movie, so that's why I kind of wanted to draw some Minions. But when I started sketching it, it was looking pretty funny, so I decided to scratch that idea and then do this instead. The waves were giving me a little bit of a problem. I didn't know like how big of waves that I wanted to do, so then I decided, nah, I'm just going to do it where the waves are coming into the shore. I was having a little trouble with this shrubbery, so I used a few different brushes and then kind of messed around with it a little bit, and then I came up with these pieces. I didn't really want to fully flesh it out, so that's why it looks a little bit sketchy. For the last challenge I wanted to try was the one where you do a drawing based off of one of your favorite songs, and it was hard for me to pick one song. I really like Rain from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Amelie's cover of this song. I also really like Bluebird that Amelie does the cover from Naruto Shippuden, but I decided to go with Rain because whenever that song pops on, I have to sing to it, and I really have been wanting to draw Roy Mustang with his hair slicked back and him in the rain. So I thought this was a good time to try drawing him in this pose, and I also wanted to try doing a character that's sad and has tears running down their face, because I haven't really ever drawn characters with tears rolling down their face. I have drawn characters that are sad-ish or like not happy, but not with the tears, and I wanted to try this new tip that I saw on TikTok where you kind of put multiple colors around the water to make it look like a water drop, and then of course do highlights. So I wanted to see how that turned out, and I really liked how this picture was going and how I was sketching it. Also, I forgot to mention, as a part of this challenge, you're supposed to only use a color palette that Procreate picks from the image of the album cover. And even though this is slightly cheating because I ended up drawing Roy's Mustang, which his color scheme is very similar to what the album color is, I did have to modify, not the colors, but it did take a little bit to figure out how I was going to do this, because the colors are not exact to what Roy Mustang is and his like skin tone and stuff, but I think it turned out cool regardless. And then I also had to adjust his little medals and badges, because those, I didn't have a green that was a part of the color palette, so I used like this neon greenish blue color. But it ended up turning out pretty cool, even though they weren't exact colors. And then I feel like it felt like the foggy theme that I was going with. And I really liked how his hair turned out. I really love his slick back hair with his little pieces that are falling. And in the anime, the scene, all you can really see is like his head and then the tear because the hat is covering it. So I thought it'd be cool to, if we could see his face while he has the tear instead of just being in shadow, though Roy Mustang would definitely not let you see him cry. And I really like, he was like, it's starting to rain. And when Riza Hawkeye's like, no, it's not. And then she's like, okay, yeah, it's raining. This is the third time that I've drawn Roy Mustang. The first time, it's what my siblings and I cutely call it the doofstang. And then I have a more recent one that I did digitally when I was first starting digital drawing on my iPad. And I really like that one because we have some of his flame alchemy going on. And I really liked his hand. I may include little screenshots of those in this video. And then this one, which is definitely one of my favorite. I can't decide between the one with the flames or this one, which one I like better, as they are a little bit different. And then I was having a hard time figuring out how to make it look like it's raining, because I haven't done that in one of my pictures yet. But I decided to make like these little lines and then blur them out. And then I also adjusted his mouth a little bit, and then his eyebrow, because it was looking a little bit off, but other than that, it turned out pretty cool. And then I really like doing the clouds. I really like drawing clouds. I use the water color brush to do that, and made my final little adjustments to the piece. Let me know which of these TikTok challenges I did was your favorite. Anya, the skeleton, or Roy Mustang. Thanks for watching. NinjaDrawsArt out.